Hey everyone, hope you're doing well. So, as you can tell by the video, I did end up purchasing a Sony FX9, and the following week I had 3 shoots that I was able to rent it out on. So, it ended up working out really great, and I'm definitely looking forward to using it more. So, in this video, I'm going to go over the 3 shoots that I had lined up for this week, and I'm not going to go over the pricing and how I got these shoots and, what that looks like. If you guys have any questions, just leave them in the comments below, and I'll try to respond as best as I can. But these videos are really just kind of behind the scenes, the nitty gritty of production, and pretty much what it looks like to do this full time.
We can go through the process to be able to split this off, and then we can either fix this up, keep it in the portfolio, we could flip it off, we could sell off the asset as
we can
is.
flip a house. You want to flip a house, Peter?
So I'm on standby right now. The clients are in there, and I'm probably going to head over to the next location here in a minute and get everything set up. But as of right now, the shoot's been going pretty well. The FX9 is making its debut today, and it's been doing good. I think the most vital part about this whole entire rig is the eyepiece. Just being able to quickly pull this on and off is so nice. And then it just being like a more run and gun camera, like on the shoulder, makes so much sense. It's literally the perfect camera for this type of work, just when you need to be at 10 different locations throughout like a downtown area. So having it on your shoulder just makes a whole lot of sense moving around. So yeah, I can't say enough good things about the FX9 as of right now. Besides, the only downside is it's heavy. So yeah, I'll see you guys over there. So this first shoot was very run and gun. I had the camera on my shoulder pretty much the whole entire time, except for one part where it was capturing like a Q&A, like a mastermind presentation sort of thing. That I had on sticks, and then I captured a few interviews at the very end as well, post interviews. So it was very run and gun. The first half of the shoot, getting tons of B-roll, and then tons of like talking segments with the two realtors, Q&A sort of thing. So I had them lobbed up the whole time.
For example, the zoning is a good one, right? If you go in and your assistant calls and checks on the zoning and finds out that it's not zoned for multifamily, well, then that's an issue, and the deal's probably not going to happen.
A good example on this one was getting the documents from the seller.
Picking off little shots that could be used throughout the day with audio. So it was very run and gun. I did have a shot list and that sort of thing, so I was making sure I was getting the right stuff. But yeah, it was a fun shoot to really dial in the camera and make sure everything was working perfectly.
I worked on focus on kind of paying those down. So for years I just had the single family homes, kind of refinanced them as interest rate shop, things like that, and then went into.
This second shoot was great. It was just coverage for a press event. So they're doing a big golf tournament here in Little Rock at the end of the month. So they just had a press day, and I was hired in just to get some quick B-roll shots of the course, and then get just cover pretty much the press conference. So they're doing kind of trying to get more sales, that sort of thing. And I just set up my camera right next to kind of all the other news stations had their setups in the middle of the room. So I set up right there. And so we were just hired to essentially just do a 30-second post on Instagram. So a lot of the footage and stuff you're seeing here is probably going to be cropped down to, vertical video versus horizontal. But they still wanted to capture, horizontal video that we could potentially use at another point in time. But the original package was just supposed to be like an Instagram post, 30-second for this press conference. So this is what happens when producers or directors try to help you pack. They do more damage than good. They're just trying to get you out of there quickly. But what would have taken me probably 5 minutes to wrap this is now going to take me like 20 minutes to fix. So, yeah. If you don't know how to wrap cables, don't wrap cables. Just made it to location. Gonna get my card out. So the third shoot that I had this week was essentially just an event, and I was hired just to get typical event coverage as far as B-roll. I didn't have to have cameras rolling the whole time for the actual event. They weren't going to, use this for anything else besides a promotional video, but they did want to capture a couple sound bites of the presenters talking. Alrighty, got the car unloaded. Everything on the cart. Sun is finally coming out. But yeah, this is the event center we're at today. Just a 2-camera package, one for formal interviews and the other one for B-roll. I have 1 tripod, 1 gimbal, couple light stands, batteries, audio, just a bunch of little odds and ends, but I'm pretty excited trying a different lighting setup today with these new modifiers. They're essentially just inflatable 4x1s, but yeah, it's gonna be good. Okay, so just made it to location. This is event coverage, and I'm being hired by a production company. I work with this company maybe 2-3 times a year, so not a whole lot of work, but it's always fun every time I get to work with them. So they were triple booked today. They had 3 jobs going on the same day, and that just is kind of how it stacks up sometimes. So they needed to look for fulfillment for 2 of them. I'm doing one here, and then I have a buddy, Paul, who's doing another one at a different location, and then they're doing one in Northwest Arkansas, I believe, up by Rogers. So yeah, I'm glad I didn't have to go to Rogers to do that one. This one's local for me in Little Rock. So yeah, should be good. I had tentacle sinks in each of the breakout rooms as well as the main room just to capture audio, and I would get into the room and hit record on my phone with the tentacle sync, so that way I knew I was capturing audio, and then I would just set up my camera and just pick off a couple of sound bites from each room. And this they would use for like promotional stuff. And it wasn't just capturing, the whole talking segment. It was just finding little sound bites that we can use for promotional material. And I could have done this with one tentacle sync and kind of went through each breakout room and just set it up real quick and hit record. You could have done that with an F6 or whatever portable recorder you have. But I ended up just not wanting to mess with the audio like while someone was talking, accidentally unplug a cable. So I just decided to put a tentacle sync in each room, and then just when I get into the room, just hit record. That way I didn't have to mess with anything, go into the breakout panel and hook up a Zoom recorder or whatever. So that actually ended up working really well. That was a last minute decision to bring the tentacle syncs, and I'm glad I did because it was fairly seamless. And then we just captured some more formal interview type sound bites where we had a little setup, a little studio with a step and repeat kind of in the background. That's what they wanted. So you gotta make them happy. I did light it and make it look as best as possible, in my opinion. And I think it turned out well. I mean, this was, again, a run and gun shoot, going 1,000 miles an hour, trying to get as much content as you can get for the client, make them happy. So, yeah, I think it worked out great. I think these light banks worked out great. Honestly, Lightbank didn't send me these for review. I purchased them out of my own money because I thought they looked fairly interesting. That's always the struggle with modifiers, is the bigger modifier you have, like the more space it takes up. And that's where these are great, because they have such a small footprint when they're not in use. And, you can just blow them up and it creates such a big soft source. So I think these are really great for the price. I mean, I think they're like $89, maybe 90, and I'll link them in the description below. And if you guys want to check them out, I think they're great. And, if Lightbank, if you are watching this and you do want to send me some lights, I'll definitely review them because I feel like these ones worked out really good. Okay, so today is Saturday. Got done with a bunch of shoots this week. Need to unload and repack some stuff for this week. But right now, this is the state of my shop. And right now, every time I have to do multiple shoots, and it's just a complete mess because I don't really have places besides like these racks to put equipment. So it's not efficient. There's multiple things going on in the shop. So we have like yard stuff, yard work stuff, taking up this space. Then I have like equipment here. And then all this stuff is home stuff. So this is all storage items and things that we don't use. Like that's my son's crib from when he was little. But it's stuff that we just don't want to get rid of, but there's no space in the house or the garage to keep it. So yeah, the idea is eventually turning this shop into a workspace for me. Right now I'm just using a extra bedroom as a home office, but I would love to turn this whole space, I think this is a 20 by 30 shop. I would love to turn this whole space into like dedicated workspace and then part studio. Get rid of all the yard stuff, get rid of all the house stuff, and then this can just be a dedicated space. So I already have the walls insulated. I would just want to put drywall. I need to run electricity and then get like an AC / heater unit, air conditioner unit. So there's a few things that I would want to do to the shop to make it more conducive to working. So I'm going to try and do that. I would say that's probably going to be my goal for early next year, is to get this space ready for me to move all my stuff into. I would definitely want to do something with the concrete as well, maybe like an epoxy or something on the concrete. But yeah, so that's kind of my long-term goal. As of right now, it's just I don't have the room to properly store stuff, so things just get kind of thrown in here. Like all this furniture from my Atlanta shoot is just like living throughout. There's no place to really store it. I have like that 65-inch TV there. So yeah, that's going to be the goal, is to renovate this space here. I put together, I probably need about $15,000 just to get everything how I would want it. But all that being said, I have someone coming to pick up a bunch of rental equipment, so I got to pack some rental stuff. And then I also am packing for a travel shoot next week, going to Washington, D.C. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, coming home Friday. And then I go straight back into more shoots on Saturday. So crazy busy time of the year for me.